This is day 930 Arukh HaShulchan Yomi. Sponsor Arukh HaShulchan Yomi. Please tell me directly. It'd be very greatly appreciated. Today we're doing Simataf Chaysh Chav Tes Dalid to your base. Dalid. Hastam Eitzim Shenim Kalim. Generic wood, which is not has been made into a vessel. It's not been used for Sachav. Which also came if they're made into a vessel. Harayim Mekabel Tuma. Mekabel Tuma, they can't be used. Pshutekle Sheish Mehem Shemkabel Tuma Rabbanan. There are simple wooden vessels that nevertheless accept Tuma Rabbanan, even though they don't have a base kibble, they don't have a receptacle. And you can't use them for Schach. Those who Sheinu Mekabel Tuma, Ami Rabbanan Mesachik Mehem. Those who Shnam Mekabel Tuma, there is no problem to use them, even the Rabbanan. And those things which serve for a person, and only serve for a person, are Torah altogether, a sulam, like a ladder, vakolov, and a hanger. Those wooden vessels which serve for both people and vessels, a shulchan, like at the table, and a baker's board. The time they are matami because the Rambam perik down mekalim. Say by it as a sukkah. Venir the osa makabel tumah midrabanan pesulim midrabanan v'lo midaraisa. Says the kalim makabel tumah nevertheless only puts the rabbanan, not the raisa. Nafkamina only has suffix bedin zeh. So nafkamina is the ramifications. If you have a suffix in this halacha, the chim is fake halacha kedin is fake the rabbanan. You go into the suffix that be convenient like any other fake the rabbanan. The halacha says it's something which is. The halacha says, so therefore, if you only have this kind of schach, you should use it in order to be able to the rice, so you should make a brach on it. Hey, if he's in the end of something place, I'm going to my boy himself. The point is, you should be able to lose wooden vessel which holds more than 40 saw. Shem Kabel Tuma. It says Nam Kabel Tuma. Call the Chen Call Osen Shulchashi Berchav Dami Kalim. The Shlosha, the Gil Midos, Amida Chorna Torah Mikulam. Or the measures which are discussed there, measures as in vessels which are used for measure. If they're if there are of wood or beged or of garment, misachim b'hem. Use them for schach. But a vessel which was broken, and therefore it's no longer mekabel tumah, but it once was. When you can't use them for schach, which is bomb because it's derived as a kabel tuma. The Mishabura says, however, even when the whole were only makabel tuma rabbanan, if they are broken, you're allowed to use them for schach, which is a significant kula. But he said, but Arukh HaShulchan says, and you can't make a schach of them. He said more that's what it says. If you used worn out kalim in order to make schach. These are rags which don't have the sheet of 3x3. It's possible because they came from someone who's kabel tuma. This is also going to be true about kalim. Ram perish reish perikei kosav atan the shemli sachech b'shvarim shadayin lo nitaru. Not sure what that exactly means, but Ram says perhaps you're going to use broken kalim which are not yet tar. And he said psulim rabbanan. According to this, it's there rabbanan. Unless you come to use broken shards which are not pop or yet tar. But Arukh HaShulchan says if you are deliberately breaking something, you only use it for the purpose of schach, mutar sachir, but you're allowed to use it for schach. It's a big kula. V'raya mashi's bar b'siv chav gimel the mahani ma'isa. We're going to be in Sifra Gimel to see evidence for this from the fact that a ma'isa actually works. Practice says the seems to contradict this halacha shapir, but when I said it makes sense, it works out well. That when can't you use it? When it broke, not for the purpose of becoming schach. When it broke for the purpose of becoming schach, then it would be okay. That's what you learn in the Mishnah. Hamakaras because of Shipurim Arukh HaShulchan, somebody who makes the schach out of shpurim, which are like skewers. I'm not sure it's going to use for skewer, but the same principle. Or Arukh HaShulchan, or but the the beams of a bed. If there's space between the shpudim or the Arukh HaSamita and the schach there, then the sukkah is kosher. The shpudim Aruchos ba'atzmam psulim. The skewers, the skewers of metal, so that makes sense. The shpudim are possible to aim shamatas because they're metal. But matar is possible to sichel, and all metal is possible for schach. Arukh HaSamita. Hey, Mashvarim Shamita, and the ruchas of the bed are the long sides of the bed, long beams of the bed, which are broken pieces of bed. Kamash Mishnah the bed, Psul the rice ben Psul Rabbanon Shavim him. So the Mishnah is telling us that whether Psul the rice like metal or Psul Rabbanon like a broken keli, the parameters are similar. The Gemara says something about the long side of the bed and two short sides of the bed. Because you can lean them on a wall and spread a mat on top of them. That's according where the Gemara wants to repudiate this halacha that you can make schach out of worn out or vessels. But the true, we don't need this. In other words, even Arukah itself, without the shtei krayim, is possible because it comes from a keli. The Ram doesn't mention the Arukah and shtei krayim. We had a longish agar here. That was what's going to have next if. The two Shulchan which mentioned the skewers and the long beads in the Mishnah of the bed, Mita. Shiva the Lishna the Masnis and Nokta, just quoting the language of the Mishnah as is. So it doesn't mean shpudim of wood, but it means shpudim of mateches. Mashiksha says they can bichti nokta b'shel barzel, shel barzel. So that's the case. Why even mention it? It's metal, so of course it's puzzle. He goes up without seeing going based on the old try to resolve this question. I know it's difficult. It's a puzzle. It's telling us the actual law that metal is puzzle. But to not Mishnah, is just quoting the Mishnah. In the early Shazel, come on, it's not going to Aleph. That interprets the Shulchan not that way. That's why he leaves the Beis Yosef with a tzarich iyum. Ayin sham beduk. See there. Yesh tik shel eid shemischaber lechitim shel barzel. There is a container of wood which connects to metal arrows. Yesh atik chalul. Sometimes that wooden container is hollow. You put the arrows inside them. I think he means just the wooden arrows which hold the metal arrowheads. And those which don't have holes, but they don't have cavities in them. The telephone or some base kibul shalachetz, and those pieces of wood go into a receptacle of the arrow itself, of the metal part of the arrow. The first one's not a puzzle sichel because they have a clay kibul. They have a receptacle, and therefore it's clay, so it's makabel tumah. But the second ones are kosher because they don't have a clay kibul. You're just stuffing them into the arrowhead. As long as you haven't stuck them into the arrowhead. So, but if you actually put them into the metal, the apostle even removed them afterwards. Once it became connected to the arrowhead, kibul tumah. It's makabel tumah. Okay, nifsal olam. Therefore, it's apostle. Just so he wrote about broken vessels which remain puzzle. Those which have a cavity, therefore since they have a receptacle, they're telling me you can't use them regardless. I don't know, because according to what he said before, if you break the arrow, then in order to make it schach, it should be okay. So that's what he said in the Sif above. Okay, very long here, long brackets. But first, the base of Mason Mask when the cave because the sounds came with it. It's a little bit astonishing. Came with the Malos. Even the wooden shaft. That's the right word. Even the wood shaft has a receptacle since it's made to fill. How they go make creates it remains a simple wooden vessel to turn historical content sakina, just like the handle of a knife. Before you put the metal inside, it's not mekabel tuma. The laws of Chisi Lovin, I don't understand, says Arukh HaShulchan. The Rabbi is saying the kat is skill matami. How do they know the knife handle is not matami? If the form of the vessel is complete, even though you haven't fully finished the vessel with whatever embellishments you want to put onto it, nevertheless, tummy. Mishavashi is so based on Kalim. Says, listen, and the short part Kalim. The kol gome clay aids to maim, chutz mishel eskeroa. All blocks of wood, which are, even though they have no receptacle, but they're intended to be attached to one. The tame, well, even they're not attached yet to whatever metal is going to be attached. But it has to have a receptacle here. Otherwise, unless it's it's Tomei Chutzishel Eskeroa, except for Eskeroa wood. Klomer Kshaloni Gmar Lagamri, even it's not fully complete. Shiv Gomek Le'et Shenechsar Beguf HaKekeli, Hayin Sham. It's like, that I don't understand exactly what he's saying, but it's considered like a simple wooden tool where there's something missing from the tool, but it's still a tool, so therefore it's still Makabel Tuma. I don't know why Escrow wood is got different. Any wooden vessel is not made to hold something, like a gutter. Also, if the receptacle came to being on its own, like hollow reeds, etc. They're not meant to be used to hold anything. They're Torah beside them, and you can use them for schach. Shadchan says, if you have a gutter and you made a hole in the gutter to catch pebbles there, it isn't mekabel tuma. He also says the difference in the size of that hole between wood and pottery, but that has nothing to do with schach, obviously. Considering if you made schach out of flax, which has not yet been pounded and separated, psula. It's it's kosher. That the eighth ma'am was just a piece of wood. The Mishnah Berurah says you should not be lenient, even if you just have the stalks, which fell off the tree, unless it's shas of chak. That's a very big chumrah because nothing has been, they haven't processed at all yet. The Mishnah Berurah says you shouldn't use them. Arukh HaShulchan says, if you did pound them and separate them, it's possible. No, it's not mekabel yet because it's not completely finished yet. Because it has to be spun into thread. It's close enough to spinning. It's no good. There's a different reason why the linen in the making is possible. It's because it's no longer the same tsura, no longer the same form it had when it was in the ground, and therefore it's not considered to be that which grew from the ground. These are going to this gam but semer gef in the kambus. That's the case also by cotton and by cannabis, which is hemp. In nidak v'nipeitz emasakim bohem. If it's pounded and made into threads, you can't use it for schach. It's the Bachim Magen Avram. Mishnah Berurah says, according to the first reason, that it has to do with mekabel tuma, not mekabel tuma, cotton and hemp are never mekabel tuma, so there wouldn't be such a gzera. According to the second reason, however, that it's no longer, it has the original shapes, it's not going to do the karka, you have to be machmer by cotton and by cannabis, and he says it should be machmir. Cannabis, in this case, is canvas. Canvas made out of hemp. Okay? V'yesh because of those right at time in nation uyin litnon b'karim ksosos. Since you can put the cotton and the canvas in pillows and blankets, l'chein gama dakto. Therefore, all even the fluff. The fluff which pulls out of the funds of flax. You can't use mixlach. If you use ropes of flax, it's also ropes of linen, I should say. It's also. Even the ropes came and changed to Russell or Meres, since it doesn't stand, its form does not stand. No, what that means. Have a karka. I'm not sure what it means. I guess they unravel. I don't know. Somehow the linen is not the same form as the flax. But he says, I will show gemi, will show sieve. If you have these different types of fiber, kishera, because if you make them into ropes, they still have the same format they had when they were growing from the ground. Zemi Yerushalmi. So a hempen rope you'd be allowed to use in order to, flax rope you're not allowed to use. A hemp rope, gemi, or sieve, or fiber, gemi, you would be allowed to use because now it didn't change. Zemi Yerushalmi, that's Yerushalmi. It's not actually in Bavli. The Yerushalmi says you can use certain kinds of ropes, Bavli does not. Machsosu in l'shchiva, mats which are suitable for lying upon. Cheetah shem and obviously can't make them slach sharei matame tumas measures, because they become tame when somebody tame lies on them. Shem l'shchiva misachim, they're not suitable for lying on. You can then use them for slach. Yud v'zel shan Rambam sham the dinva. This Rambam says machzelas kanim, a mat of reeds, or machzelas gemi, or a mat of hemp, or cholaf, or something else. Katana, if it's a small mat, stam l'shchiva, we assume it's made to lie on. Therefore you can't use it for slach, unless you deliberately made it for slach. A large mat, stam l'shchiva, by definition, it's made for slach. Therefore you can use it, unless you deliberately designate it to be lying down. Yesh lakir, if it has a rim, I feel gedola, even if it's large, you can't use it for slach, it's like a receptacle. If you need to akir even though the rim is taken away, you can't use it for slach. It's like a broken keli, which you say before is also no good. Akir, this rim, I feel kind of even it's very small. Since it surrounds the entire mat, that makes it suitable to be a receptacle. If the mat is made is braided and intertwined, even it's small masachim boy, you use beslach because it's all those bumps and the braids and intertwining makes it unsuitable for lying down. Ram doesn't draw such a distinction. Also, the Torah writes, Loshna Aruga Shichalaka Uri Lashkiva. Doesn't matter if it's woven and therefore it's smooth and suitable for lying on. Loshna Sia Maisa Shashos, or if it's made like chains. Sheichok, it's not smooth. It's not so suitable for lying down. Imiktana doesn't matter. If it's small, we assume it's made for lying down. Ad Kalashon. The reason is Gama Suya Gamase Avosu Kliya, even if it's made with this intertwining and this braiding. If you have nothing else, you use it to lie down. Like it says, it's not so suitable for lying down. It seems quite clear. In a pinch, you can use it for lying down. I remember it's area cloud, but it's in fact not suitable at all for lying down. They're also obviously going to admit that even if it's small, you can use it for slach because it's not suitable at all for lying down. What's called made for lying down, what's called made for slach, bear rush to tell you meaning a makam. It's the local custom. Because when the majority of people who they make these mats for schach or for lying down. Vein totally bob. That's what it doesn't have to do with the person itself. The Shabbat says the place for the minhag is to make them for schach. If you personally thought to make them for lying down, then you gave them, bestowed upon them the status of being susceptible to tumah, no good. When there is no definite minhag in a place, tell you about also. That's how he made it. In Kabbalah says shchiva, you have mind for lying down or for schach. The stomach is shchiva gdola, and the default assumption says the distinction between a small and large mat. And yesh lakir, where it has a rim, it doesn't have a rim. But he made explicitly for the purpose of schach. I feel yesh lakir, even if it has a rim, boy, you can make a schach. You can use it for schach. The Mishnah Brother agrees though that he does in our opinion that if has a rim, it's chayav tumah no matter what, and you can't use it for schach.